This show is proudly brought to you by the #Me Network.
Kia ora, and thanks so much for tuning in to episode 27 of Access Granted, our weekly Kiwi tech and media podcast. I'm Mike, and my background is information wrangling, connecting people and getting things done.
And I'm Raj, my background's in design, media and technology. And you're here because you're a Kiwi that either works in or has a great passion for tech and media in New Zealand.
Episode 27. Later we'll catch up with Educa's Nathan Lin, but first our focus for the week.
Well, this week's focus came about when I almost by accident, but kind of on purpose, left my computer at work in the office. So I left my laptop, which goes everywhere with me, right?
Yep.
At work, and I noticed that I can do a lot with this phone. It's fair enough, right? You can do enough.
Yep.
But there's certain things like some content creation sort of stuff that I couldn't do. And then that means I had to wait till Monday, and that means, cool, I had a free weekend, which is kind of interesting. So my focus for this week was, how are you going to unplug for the holidays sort of thing? Will you be able to? Because I managed to leave it by accident, sort of vaguely on accident. I sort of did it really, and so I could walk away from it for a little bit. And it was a nice break, but I'm just wondering, during other years, I've never done that. And I've even done work during the holiday period.
You have done work?
Yeah. Been on 3G bloody connections in the middle of nowhere and doing work.
Wow.
So I've just...
How'd that go down with the family?
Oh, yeah, they hated it. Yeah.
I think there's your answer.
Lucky I was fast enough to quickly do it, we're done. So that's cool, but the ability to do it was quite handy to have. But I thought, well, what about unplugging?
Yeah.
So from full extreme of going full immersion and being able to work wherever you like, how about turning the damn thing off for once? So that was my focus for this week.
I think I find when I'm away or on holiday, the one thing that I really connect for, is so that my photographs get sucked up into wherever they get stored. Mm-hmm. But once I've connected, I may as well just go and look at Twitter.
That's right.
I may as well just go.
What
And of course the phone starts beeping and farting at you and flashing and saying, oh, I've got stuff for you.
Yeah.
So even though you connect for one thing, the phone tells you there's all these other FOMO things happening.
So you can't just have one chocolate, You just got to pick out,
That's right.
You can't just have one.
And also, due to where my family actually live, back in Wales and in Sweden, I'll be connecting on Christmas Day so that we can connect up.
Right, yeah.
So that we can see each other.
So you have a legit reason as well.
Yeah. But then...
Is that okay for you guys?
Wonderful.
Yes.
And then the machine starts plugging away. But I will attempt cold turkey.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I fail every year, but I always try. And even if I make it, a 50% success or a 75% success, then I'm a happy man. But my goal is 100% cold turkey, not online.
Yeah. I see the phones stop you from really doing it, If you're still reliant on your phone for, say, even just the one thing, like texting family, during wrangling,
turn data off.
You run off and yeah, true.
Turn data off, turn Wi-Fi off.
It's already there, it's on, you've got batteries,
Turn
you're
it
in the
off.
zone.
Oh, no, I'm happy to turn it
might as well just check something.
No. Try. Well,
that's what I'm worried about. I'll end up on
happen.
Twitter or Facebook. That's not too bad, because I'm there for minutes or seconds, not all day. But, chuck in an email.
So what's the downside?
News is what gets me.
What's the issue with being online, though? Why does it matter?
I think the main reason for me was having the laptop, or something that I do actual work with, or proper work, easier to do work on. Having that around and connectivity means, I might as well just quickly do it. I might as well just do that now. I've got a gap between barbecues. I'll go do.
So it's work.
Yeah, usually it's work.
It's doing work when you should be on holiday.
That's right.
Well, don't.
So okay.
Simple as that. And anybody who thinks that they're, who's listening to this thinks, this is helping out, or you're being loyal to the company, or this is good for my career, you're a fool. You're kidding yourself.
You end up burning out, probably.
You burn out. The companies are very, very rarely loyal to people anyway. It's a holiday. It's not expected. If you work in a place that it expects you to work on a holiday, I hope you're getting twice as much money as everybody else, because you've got to get a reward for that. It's about looking after yourself and being someone who knows their value and worth, and part of that is I'm worth not being at work, and I want to be with my family, and that's what it's all about. Or your friends, or whatever it is, or alone.
Yeah.
Stuck up on a nice, warm, comfy sofa near the window reading a book. Whatever you want to be doing, or headphones on in the darkened basement playing games, because that's what you want to do. As long as it's not work.
But see, what if you're a freelancer and you've got freelancer type stuff to do?
You get paid.
Yeah, but you still, you're online, you'll do it quickly. Tune it out earlier, don't have to worry about it in January.
Well, that's your call, but you get paid for it.
Yeah.
So,
It gets me out there.
Don't.
Should I just do it or not?
No is the answer.
It's always
Don't.
an internal battle. There's a Jedi and a Sith just smashing it out of my head every time.
Try it. Try not doing it, and then look back on it and go, did that in any way harm me not doing it? And I guarantee you a whole round of drinks, the answer is, no one noticed, no one cared.
I did the trial this weekend,
And?
It seemed to work out all right.
No.
But I did have a bunch of stuff till Monday morning that I could have done,
Well, there's always work to do, mate.
Yeah, there's always something
I mean,
to do.
life goes on, in 1,000 years' time there'll be work to do.
Yeah.
That's...
But by then, hopefully I've sorted myself out and I'm on an island somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that my advice is go for it, and it's not being offline then, it's not working.
Yeah, it's more the work thing. I think that's where these devices and that do tether us to work, doesn't it? So.
Well, they blur the boundaries, definitely.
Yeah.
So, look, guys, gals, listening to this, your call, but how much are you worth to yourself?
Well, think of it this way, right? If you're at the family thing and you're thinking about work, well, you need another beer, obviously, and just concentrate on that and being with the people you're with, maybe, and then just all the gadgets can go in some room in the back of the house somewhere else, or give it to someone.
Yeah.
Give it to someone to keep for the holidays.
Yep.
That might work.
There you go. That's my view, and that's Raj's view, so stop it, mate.
Got to stop it, eh? Yeah, you're
Dr. Mike has spoken.
right. All right. Take 2 chill pills and call them in the morning.
That's right.
Right, on to event. This is where you get out of your office pod and get out in the fresh air and meet your fellow Kiwis doing things.
There's a lot happening in Christmas, and before we get into it, you're having a Christmas do, and you're a large company, go and find a startup company that works near you and invite them to your do.
It's a great idea.
Get out there and love some of the people who can't afford to have those big flash do's that you do.
Plus, you might end up actually collaborating on something.
Exactly.
You never know what can come out of it.
And one specific one, though, 13th of December, Saturday, 13th of December, the Hack Miramar has got a little offshoot, a little event that we're helping run with Wellington Makerspace, which is called the Hour of Code. So it's 13th of December at Scots College, free event. Anybody can come along, but we're particularly looking for coders at the moment to help explain coding, really, and show people coding. So people come along for an hour, they get to see underneath the iPhones and the Android devices, and they get to see how it all works, and just explain coding, and then hopefully out of that, of course, someone will go, I can do that, particularly the young'uns that come. So that's 13th of December, Scots College. That's at hackmiramar.org/code what's it called? Hour of Code. You'll find it on there, but go to hackmiramar.org.
Nice.
Tech events, tech news, all over the internet. Our highlights are tweeted as they come out using the Access Granted podcast hashtag. Simply save it in your search on your Twitter client.
And interview. You put up with Nathan Lin.
I did. This was a while ago now. We caught up with Nathan, who I can't remember how we got in touch with Nathan now, but Nathan reached out to us, I think. And he works for Educa. Educa is a company that he started because he had a particular pain to solve, which was he was a father and his child was off to kindergarten, and he just wanted to know what was happening, and there was no system that would allow the teachers securely to share photographs of his child, things they were working on, so he thought I can do that and wrote it.
It's more like the end of year report, but as you go through the year rather than waiting right at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And very informal and very photograph and video focused.
Nice.
And he's got some great stories about, how obviously immigrants like myself, we'd have our children here in New Zealand and grandparents are back in the UK, and sharing daily, these are the updates from your grandchildren. Wonderful stuff. So listen to the interview. It's a fantastic interview. And I remember thinking it's about the interview that focuses on why we do this. Not to make money, it's why we actually do these things. Fantastic from Nathan. So here we are, back in what Raj and I are calling Access Granted Office number 2. Golding's free dive here in Wellington on a I was going to say it's not a beautiful day at all, is it? It's a shit day. It's horrible out there. And delightfully, we've got Nathan Lee from Educa, of which I know not a huge amount, to be fair, but we'll find out. So, welcome, Nathan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming along. So tell me, first question, what makes you happy?
That's a good question. I didn't expect that to come. You see, that things making me happy changes throughout my life. I guess lately, or for the past few years, and I think what makes me happy generally is seeing my family's happy, and that makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
I've got a 7-year-old.
Yep.
I have a lovely wife. Seeing them happy every day, and that makes me feel happy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I was reading about the history of Educa, and that's come from having your 7-year-old and thinking this is just not the systems for the people to deal with this.
Yeah, it's right. My daughter started going to a preschool when she was a year and a half, so that was back in 2009. At the time, as first-time parents, as you know, a lot of people, having your precious, going to somewhere that you can't see for a day is devastating.
Absolutely.
So, as a techie, I'll look around and see if I can find some system to help the teachers out. And turned out that there's none. Screw that.
They've got Excel. What's the matter with them? What more do they need, surely?
And life could be better.
Yes.
So I built it.
Excellent.
So that's how we started.
So where did the skills for that to happen? What's your history in tech then?
Depends on how far back you want me to go. So
not to the dinosaurs.
Okay, all right. So I start with my 20s. In my 20s. So I finished university in my early 20s and started working in IT.
Yep.
So a few years into IT, I worked for small companies and big consulting companies, and then moved back to a smaller kind of boutique IT software company. Through my entire career...
Was that here in Wellington?
Yeah, in Wellington,
okay.
Yes. Started as a programmer and then progressed up to the rank and, become a lead. But, the entire career is technical focused. So it's kind of like, a lot of the tech you have, when you're a hammer, you see everything as a nail. So
yes. I can save that with tech.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so the technical background definitely helped me to see things through.
Yeah.
I mean, unlike a lot of, entrepreneurs on business background, you have to find someone.
Yes.
And for me, it was kind of easy for me, so I just started.
So Educa, the first work for yourself business, or you've done other startups before?
No, Educa is the first business, and to be honest, I never thought Educa would become a business.
Ah.
So when I started, I was just thinking to create something and see if I can help.
For your daughter's
preschool
and away you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And for 2 years, we had 2 centres. That's my daughter's centre and a friendly centre in the same not in the same neighbourhood, but close.
Yep.
And we had that for 12 months. Never thought that would turn into a business.
Were you still working for whomever before? This was like a side project.
Yeah, that's right. And didn't consume much of my time to start with. Mostly working in the evenings and the weekends. Obviously, having 2 centres as customers, you don't have a lot of support, inquiries, and everything.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is that the way that I look at it at the time was that I as a parent, I benefit from that. So happy to do anything to help.
Contributing back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Educa, before we go on, explain what it does. Is it any different to what it did do, I suppose?
Yeah, absolutely.
What does it do?
It's based on a very basic concept that using online and mobile technology to connect preschool and the parents, specifically around children's learning, because there are tons of stuff happening at the childcare centre and kindergartens, etc. Teachers teach the children a lot, and the children explore as well. And we give them a software tool that allows them to capture those moments easily, and the sharing with the family members, not only the immediate family, mum and dad, and also the grandparents who may live overseas or out of town.
Yeah.
So it's bringing the families and teachers and children learning together.
Fantastic.
In easy to use and secure environment.
Yeah.
So that's what Educa does. And looking back when we started it, Educa has evolved from the basic concept to what it does now. But in the nutshell, it's still the same.
That.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
So yeah.
And how old is it? The system and all the business?
Yeah, so I started the concept in 2009, but the business really started around 2011.
Yeah.
So we're about a 3.5 year old, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's looking back, it's quite funny to see, because it's been five years and a bit since I started the concept. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good to see the value that we provide to both the families, the preschools or kindergartens and the teachers, and just to see how we change their lives, and also, changing the helping the community to raise children. I think that's quite fascinating to see. As a very humble beginning, created something for myself, and now seeing like tens of thousands of people using it and around the world, that's quite fascinating.
That's awesome. So now you've obviously spread from your daughter's preschool and your mates down the road, you're all over New Zealand and further.
Yeah, so we have customers, most of our customers in New Zealand, and we have a few customers in Australia, actually quite a few, and we have customers in Southeast Asia and China as well.
Wow, very cool.
So,
and is that through word of mouth? How did they appear?
Mostly. I think we're not I guess, being a technical person, I spend most of our energy on the technical side. And what we found that if you do a good job, if you build a good program, you do a good job, and people will help you to spread out the words. Particularly in New Zealand, half of our customers come from word of mouth, and entire Australia, word of mouth. Even people from Southeast Asia, word of mouth.
Wow.
So, we don't spend a lot of money on marketing.
Good ideas flow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And how many in the team now then?
Including me, we have 5 full-time.
Yep.
In the team. Up until June this year, we had 2 person.
Wow.
With 2 people. So the team is really new.
Yeah.
But really lucky that I had a bunch of capable people and helping me, helping the business, which is really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And are you still coding?
Depends on how you define coding.
So ship something.
I know. Full-on coding, I haven't been doing that for a while. But from time to time, I look at the system in a more high level. Just looking at things, not doing anything damaging. So I've got a team of developers now. Looking at the system. So I just tell them what I think need to happen, and as I said, the team's really good. They will just go in there and make it happen, which is really good. So I'd love to be able to create something, build something, but the danger is that I don't have enough time to finish it.
Yeah.
So,
they also give you a side project, a bolt-on or a side project, and they can say, when it's finished, we'll ship it, but there's no hurry for this bit. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go for your life, Nathan.
I know. We experiment in the team as well. Just some good ideas and all that, and some of them get shipped. Some of them just, we might not be happy with it at the end of it. But I'll leave that to the team to do the experiment and everything. So, but I'm pretty thrilled to see that now they can take the ownership and responsibility.
So is it not just your team young, as in for the business, but are they out of university? Where do you find your people?
Yeah, when I say they're young, it's a mixture. It's a combination being in the young age and also young to the business.
Yes.
So I found most of my people through, I guess, mutual connections.
Okay.
People. 4 of my team. One of them is through Summer of Tech.
Oh, awesome.
And so it's basically just the community and talking to people.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone good? And then, let's have a chat. Let's grab a coffee or let's grab a beer.
Yeah.
Let's grab beer in Mike's office. And, so it's pretty cool. It's getting a lot harder now finding good people, especially when you have the big boys that. Usual suspect like Zero Train Me and Star Now, and unfortunately our system is built on the same technology stack.
What is it?
Microsoft.
Okay.
You're competing with Zero Train Me and Star Now. But we're lucky enough to find people. We're happy to work with graduates as well. So when they finish uni, we're happy to teach them and train them. Hopefully they will stay around a bit longer.
So Summer Attack was last year? Yeah? And are you doing Summer Attack this year?
Yeah, actually the meeting is later on. So meet and greet, that's why that we have to change the meeting time.
Yes.
So 4 o'clock at Max Brewery, there's still about 43 companies going to be there. There are about 200 students and just looking for summer work. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I found the quality of students really good. Last year we interviewed 6, and literally we can hire every one of them. But we only need one person. So this year, we're looking for another person to help us with the project.
Oh, very cool. Oh well, good luck.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will find that.
Thank you.
I'm sure you will find those people. Yeah. And we'll find out, of course, because no one's going to hear that tonight. But when this goes out, we can all tweet you and go, how was it?
Yeah, I know.
How did it go?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm quite looking forward to it. It's just that, I know a lot of people organise Summer of Tech, very cool bunch of people, and the quality of the students is getting better year over year. Really, really good. I should get them to pay me a check. I know I'm doing it on a project.
John will be grateful.
Yeah, I know.
John will be grateful.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to it.
Very cool. So you're expanding, the business is expanding, obviously the customer base is expanding through pure chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said, I never thought this would become a business.
Yeah.
Nowhere in a million miles. It's basically just, now I'm looking at this, it's like, create something great, create something that solves a problem, and making sure that you take care of people that's having the trust and faith in your system.
Fantastic.
Then keep pushing.
All good. Obviously you work your focus, your product works in the education system, which is a hot political potato, and also a whole area that's going through change, probably because of technology, if nothing else, is changing the way it's happening. And you are one of those organisations that's helping change it. I've got 2 kids. They're both at I don't know what it's called here actually. I'm from Wales originally.
Right.
Primary school. It's the next one. It's the 5 to 11.
Elementary. Intermediate.
Well, they're about to be intermediate.
About to be intermediate.
Yes.
I think that's primary.
Primary.
Well, how old are they?
8 and 11.
Primary.
Primary.
Yeah, primary. Yeah. My 7-year-old goes through primary right now.
Oh, yes.
And she's got another 4 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's primary.
There's 2 things that I discovered is the wrong phrase. Some of my views on that is, the schools are doing it for themselves in a technology sort of way. Generally, they're just going, right, stuff it, we're going to... The word I come from, as we talked about before, is Google, as everyone knows.
Yep.
So, having Google Docs, etc. at schools, it's becoming more and more common.
Yep.
And there seems to be no, as far as I can see, like, thou shalt. It's just like, we're just going to do it. And that technology is changing the way that schools are doing it, particularly in the same way that breaking down the barrier between in school and out of school. And, what happened during my kids' day, which is what you guys were talking about as well. But they're just doing it for themselves, and they also struggle. No, that's not the truth. They don't struggle. The school has a swathe of parents that think this is not how school teaching should be. This is not what it's like, because in my day, it was homework came home, and so it's changing for everyone, not just for the schools. Do you find that your system is eliciting that the schools just do it for themselves? There's no Ministry of Education saying thou shalt have, and that the change that it elicits
I think
not always something people have come with.
Yeah, but of both. I think that when you look at education, it's always complicated, right? It's always...
It's tweet of the day, I think.
There's a lot of restriction, a lot of constraint, a lot of history and all that. And from our experience, we definitely see the change from what we do in the sector that we are serving.
Yes.
When we started 3.5 years ago as a business, you're really talking about people who's like early adopters, and they saw something really, really good and they want to come on board and give it a try and all that. And now people come on board, they a lot, I guess, mainstream. I guess part of that is to do with the technology progression rather than in terms of what we do. Because for the last 3.5 years, the technology has changed dramatically. From the web-based focus, and now it's mostly mobile focused. And all that. And then just the ease of access of modern technology make the adoption of our program a lot easier. And also looking at from the government or Ministry of Education's perspective, they're really supportive of what we do. Of course, people have, you will come across people that have different point of view. But as always, it doesn't matter what sector or what industry, and you always have a different point of view. So, but in terms of looking at my daughter's experience, like her school experience is we can see the change that her school is really onto technology.
Yeah.
They've got MacBook Airs, they've got iPads, and they've got I don't know how often they have that, but probably once every week or every couple of weeks, and they have the MacBook Air or iPad with them, and they play, and they either doing math or sing a song, or when she come back, and obviously we have iPad at home very early on, and she show me stuff and all that. So she's a master of YouTube now.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried at the moment because that we don't have any parental control on the device yet, but she's really good. She know how to find stuff on the YouTube. Don't know how she figured that out though. Mostly, I think that they're just natural. Like they can just find things.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That classic picture of years ago when the iPad first came out, and that little 2-year-old had a magazine, was trying to swipe.
Absolutely.
It doesn't work anymore.
Absolutely. Like yesterday, Sunday morning, she was watching a cartoon about 2 little dogs doing something funny. And I said, where did you find this? She said, I found this from Angry Birds. And because Angry Birds has a bunch of videos and the app built in.
Yes.
And they must have some sort of a link to a different sort of, app or whatever. And she just discovered that. I didn't bother to ask, can you show me?
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
Wow.
Just the technology changed your life so much, and one of our philosophies is that we want to be ready. We want to help our customers to be ready when they're ready to adopt technology.
Yeah.
So give you a good example that when we started Educa, we only have a web-based front end.
Yep.
Not until 2012 we built our first iPhone app, and that was really new in the whole education scene. You don't see iPhone app at that point a lot. Across the sector. It doesn't matter what age group you're talking about. And at the time, to be honest, not a lot of people have iPhone yet. But we always tell our customers that we want to make sure that our platform is ready when you're ready. So we'll build that. We'll never push that. But people have access to iPhone. Love it to pieces. So that was pretty cool, and that's one of our philosophies. And we're looking at technology, and we get our system ready. So when the customers are ready to adopt a new platform, and we're ready,
you're there waiting for them.
Absolutely.
And it's already been tested. It's been out there. It's not like quick.
Absolutely.
Quick, throw something up.
Absolutely.
That's a very good attitude. So you guys are based in Wellington. You've come up through. You're a classic startup. Almost a classic startup.
Yeah.
Have you been part of the startup community? Somewhere Tech is
We I'd say we're a late stage startup. We definitely went through the whole classic route of progression or growth of a startup company. When I started, I bootstrapped it, and then I joined Creative HQ, which is a local business incubator.
Yes.
We were there for about 18 months.
Okay.
Learned a lot, got a lot of support from the community. We graduated early last year, so April last year we graduated. So we've been out on our own for about more than a year now. The support we receive from them is grateful. We are very grateful that they provide us the support and helping us grow and everything. And also just the journey that went through, being part of the community, make you feel very comforting.
Yeah,
it's really good, and we're still friends, and catch up with them from time to time.
Cool.
Just telling them how we're doing and all that, and if we need help, we give them a yell, and they're always there. So it's great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Out of the process you've been through, and all of it, apart from creating your own business and your idea. This is going to be the hardest question I'm going to ask. Actually, no, it's not. There's going to be one at the end.
Okay.
I'll warn you now. What's the 3 things for someone who's sitting in another pub somewhere going, I've got this idea, tech-based type idea. What's the 3 things that you'd say to them, do's or don'ts?
Okay.
And you can think as long as you like, because we can just get around to edit the pause out.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think I'm qualified to answer this question.
If not you, who?
I'm happy to share a few things, but to be honest, I don't feel I'm qualified.
Go for it then.
But anyway, just
we'll be voting on the answers later, guys.
That's right. I don't know, maybe not exact 3. I'll just shoot whatever that comes to my mind. I think first of all, you gotta it's got to be something you love. It's got to be something that keep you up at night.
Yeah.
And it's got to be something that you believe in, that when everybody else is telling you, no, this is not a good idea. Right? So that's the first thing I would say. Like, I guess love what your idea and believe in it. That's certainly how I started Educa, right? So I started Educa because to love to my daughter. I want to know what's going on. I want to be more involved. Yeah. I want to help. Yeah. Somewhere along the way, I realised that I wasn't alone. Give you an example that I was up at night while I was travelling in Auckland, I think, at the moment, at that time, meeting a customer. It's very late in the evening. Got an email from a grandmother who sent us an email, asked questions and how to use Educa. That was, when that was years ago. Yeah. And
Paul,
I was
business development, you were
I'm everyone, right?
Yes.
And she asked me a question, and she said, "I'm really glad you're here. You were there to help me because I really, really want to see what my grandson is up to." She lives in the UK. Yeah. The grandson went to a childcare centre in Lower Hutt, and that was the moment that I feel that's something that I create is valuable,
making a difference
and making an impact to people's lives. So that was I guess love what I did and still love what I do. I think that's the most important. Well, not most important. That's definitely one of the factors you've got to look into.
Absolutely,
because the whole journey is so hard.
Yeah.
Right, and if you can't even start the journey with maximum love and passion, might not as well.
Yeah, right? It's going to be really hard.
Yeah. So I think that's quite important. And the second thing, I think it's important to listen in the multiple front though. But what I want to touch on is listen to the customers. There's a constant debate that customer might not know what they want. But what I'm saying is that you got to be open. You got to listen to what they tell you. You might not build everything they ask for, but you need to understand why they ask a particular thing. So if you build a product that really solves the customer's problem, as I mentioned very, very early on, they will help you to spread the word. Yeah. And make your life a lot easier to get the next customer. Yeah. And I think that also being able to add value to the customer, and ultimately that's why the customers, chose you and come on board. And I think that, listen to the customers is quite important. Yeah. And the third thing, I'll give you three.
Constrained to three, and you've done well.
I know. I've been, trying very hard, you can tell. I think that the third thing is persistence. Persistence or tenacity, whatever you call it.
Yeah, in yourself.
And just in yourself or whatever, believe in whatever that you do and just keep pushing it. And I think that's quite important. Yeah. Of course, when you're starting, you wouldn't know. You gotta go through a journey to be able to look back and say, hey, how hard was it? Did I push through it? And how much longer do I need to push this? Whatever, right? Yeah. But the way that I look at this is not a quick thing. It's like a marathon with sprints. At some point you'll think, oh yeah, I just need to sprint through this part. Yeah. But then when you reach there and you realise there's another few sprints that you need to do, right?
Keep going.
So yeah, absolutely. So it's ability to constantly remind yourself that it's an ongoing thing. Yeah. So just keep pushing, and I think the persistence is really hard. It's one of the things that's really important.
And if you have the passion and the love for what you do, then that's the fuel that will take you through that. And if you don't have that, then the sprints and because you're right, it is constant. This is your life. This is not like, well, I get to Thursday and I'm done. It's like, well, done with what? There's going to be more.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have the love and the passion,
absolutely,
Friday becomes a tough day.
I know.
Or the next Monday, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the other thing is to recognise all of that. Recognising why you're doing it. Yeah. Recognising this is going to be a journey of a persistence, and recognising that it's not going to be easy, because there's so many things involved, and you need to make sure that you deliver what you promise and everything, so on and so forth, and being open, and things are changing as well. So I guess being flexible and understanding, you're getting into something it's not going to be easy. Yeah. And so you are more prepared when things are getting harder. And
So the tough times aren't a surprise. It's part of the deal.
You know, I got surprised a few times. You know, honestly, but then you know this is just part of it, and I think you just keep on.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
There's many a person. It's interesting. I was thinking not just obviously for the people like yourself that are going through startups or have a startup or whatever, but also in large organisations. It's the same deal. It's, you know, in your wee department or in your even at your desk doing that problem and you're on that project.
Yes.
Same advice.
Yeah.
Interesting, of course, the first thing you said, have a love and a passion for what you do.
Yeah.
That's a challenge. That can be a challenge for those in the larger organisations.
Absolutely, and I think that's why not a lot of people. It's safer to do something that's conventional. You know, in the large organisation, because there's set process and you know in place, you just go in there and you just follow the procedure.
Yeah.
Starting a company is a lot harder because there's nothing. Right, so you have a lot of flexibility, but at the same time, there's a lot of try and error.
Yeah.
You could hit a wall very easily.
Yeah.
And it's what you do after you hit the wall.
Yeah.
Because there's no procedure to follow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people went one way, they stop, or a lot of people push through and they go the other way. And I think that I agree with you. You know, in a large organisation, you still have a lot of things that you can do with the creativity, you know, passion and you know, making a change and persisting through difficult times. You know, I heard that there's a lot of people trying to use the same methodologies or philosophies that running startup business and going to a well-established company and being able to innovate and being able to, you know, create new things and new ideas. And I think that's, you know, there's merits for both large and small companies.
I'd agree.
Yeah, so I think, you know, it's not one or the other. It's more of like, you know, what's for that person.
Yeah.
You know, whether that person feel more comfortable working in a large established company or, you know, want to do something a little bit different. So either way, as long as you feel happy, like back to the question you asked, what make you happy?
Yeah.
Different people will give you a different answer.
That's right, and they do.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. And so my last question is, it's sort of related, not quite, which is, if you imagine in the future, and you can put this as in 10 minutes' time or 20 years' time, what's the one thing you go, that's what I wanted? What's the...
Are you talking about an idea or a product or from a tech? Okay.
You know, the world of tech in very general, and you go, that's it. And it could be, that's what my company was meant to do. Or it could be something else. Someone said, I want robot dogs, was one answer. I'm going to
give you a long answer, right?
Yep, absolutely.
First of all, well, let's don't spoil the price at the end. That's the price at the end.
Oh, nice.
So I'm just going to tell my experience, right?
Sure.
I used to be extremely passionate about technical products. Like, you know, I'm a big Apple fan.
Yeah.
Right? I was and I'm still are. And I feel that, you know, every time they release a new phone or a new product, and recently they released a watch, and, you know, it's great, it's fascinating, right? It's fantastic. People's life will be changed, whatever. 20 years' time, it might be a different company, you know, creating a completely different range of product that I can't imagine. But to be honest, I'm feeling that, you know, the technology is something that could improve your life or make your life better, or, you know, whatever that is that people, you know, passionate about technology. But
someone watching TV behind us.
But what I start feeling more important is the people.
Okay.
Is the people that's around you.
Yeah.
And I think it's way more important than any technology can create. I just can't see any technology device or technology service or whatever that, I guess I'm a little bit vague. I think, you know, something to bring people together. Like, I'll give you an example, like people spend way too much time with the phones, iPads, tablets these days. One is because of the technology makes it so much easier for you to consume the content or, you know, the media and all that. But actually, that actually pull people apart.
Yeah.
Not intentionally. It's more of like, you know, 10 minutes spent on the iPad, you could well spend that with your child or your wife or your partner, right? And I feel that, you know, if especially people in the technology sector, you're with technology so often, and I would just like, you know, I would find something or some time and just to say, hey, look, you know, why don't you spend that next 10 minutes with your child, read a book, and just have a chat.
So if everyone gets that, and you go, when there's no technology days, you go, that's it.
That's right. I saw an ad a few months, I can't remember, maybe last year. This guy is painting a fence with his son. Yeah. And it's a really old fence. And he's painting the fence with the boy. They had a really good time, right? Yep. And the next door neighbor had a brand new fence, right? Brand new. And the guy looked at what the neighbor does and got a bucket of paint with his son and trying to paint the brand new fence. Yeah. And the boy was asking the dad, this is brand new. I can't remember what this ad is about. Yeah. But I want that. I want that. Yes. I want that quality time. I want that. Yeah. You know, with my daughter or with my wife, because it's just getting harder and harder. It's really hard. I hope, you know, as much as I like the technology to improve people's life, but you know, I hope that we still, at the end of it, like 20 years time, we'll still have the time that we can spend with the people that we love.
That is a wonderful answer, Nathan. Yeah. That is a very different answer to everybody else's, and quite honestly, that's my favourite answer so far. That is fantastic.
All right, thanks, Mike.
That's awesome. There's the challenge, geeks. Stop being geeks and be humans. There you go. So where can people find Educa and yourself online if they want to come and talk with you? Not email, but come and talk with you.
Talk with me. Give me a call at any time, and you can follow us on Twitter at Educa Ltd, or just send me an email, nathan@educa.co.nz.
Cool. And that website is educa.co.nz.
Yeah, so it's always happy to talk to people, always happy to share battle scars and whatever.
Wonderful.
Whatever. So, you know, it's you know, it's cool. When I started the business very early on, I met a person, I won't name the name. I said, can I meet you, have a chat? And I asked him, and he said, oh, sure, let's grab a coffee. And he bought the coffee. I mean to buy it, but he bought it. And I said, look, I don't really know you very well, and I really appreciate that you were spending the time with me, and what can I do to repay you? And he told me, when you made it, obviously we're not there yet, but when you become more experienced, if people wanted to talk to you for advice, you just do what I did. That's the best repayment that you can make.
Fantastic.
So you know, happy to talk to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. That's fantastic.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Talk to you later.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Cool.
Fantastic interview from Nathan again, focusing on why we do all this stuff. I was very inspired after that interview to sit back and think, why do I do all these things? Awesome. Thanks, Nathan. Call to action. We've got one more one more podcast after this to go next Tuesday. Yeah. The call to action is get out and meet your fellow tech IT people in the town that you are. Go and have a drink or a catch up or a coffee with them and wish them a happy New Year, Christmas stuff.
Plenty of meetups happening as well during this time, so crack into it. Don't know why you're still sitting there listening to us. Off you go. Now, next, I also would like to thank the guys and girls who are tweeting and following us and retweeting us on our Access Granted podcast hashtag. We appreciate the feedback, and we've still got a few things we're going to sort out for next year.
Here we are.
Based on some feedback and some ideas we even come up with, so that's kind of cool.
Yes. So as always, don't take our jibber jabber as gospel, as all the links go up on the podcast post at #me.co.nz.
And on Twitter, you can look for Mike at Miramar Mike, and myself at NZRaj, where you'll find all our daily hashtag updates via the hashtag Access Granted Podcast. Desperate to email us, and some have, you go to email us on accessgranted at #me.co.nz. And then for all the other hashtag goodness, such as the updates, the news, the prizes, and much, much more, check out the #me.co.nz mothership website.
And thanks for your time, and see you for our final 2014 podcast next Tuesday with a wrap-up of the year and all our interviews. And thank you to everybody who makes the computers do what they do. Ka kite anō.
#me.co.nz